Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma Screen Time here. It is Wednesday and we are up to episode 99 of Look What I've Been Watching. So again, a nice little pile for today. Obviously we have one more episode, so we will be celebrating next week at episode 100. And then the following week there won't be a Look What I've Been Watching. There will be a little announcement of what the future holds. There still will be some sort of video like this. I'm just changing it up and I'll explain the reasons for that due to work and life. I just have to mix things up and just I want to, after 100 episodes, I think I can do better and improve this video stuff. So look out for that announcement. But yeah, so if you're new to this thing and you're new to this series and this channel, obviously, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or, look for my videos, see if there's something interesting, add a comment, anything you would like to do. I always appreciate it. Obviously, it shows me that you like the channel, like what I'm doing, or even if you have anything, you feel I could do better, please feel free to drop it in. I always want to improve these videos to the best of my ability. So this series is currently physical media I've watched in the past 7 days. So I managed to get quite through a few. So we shall get into it. So first off the bat, we have the second half of the final season of Tokyo Ghoul. So I did mention this in the previous video, and this is where I can elaborate. So from what I've read and what I've seen and what I know, this last series is quite a mess. So the first two series are 12 episodes, so 24 in total. This one is another 24 episodes. This goes through so many changes. There are so many new characters. The designs are slightly changed. Some of the characters look a little bit alike. There are different factions. Different people move from different factions to here. Some people kind of change character from kind of this personality to this personality to this personality, and it's quite quick. In some of them are in like a few episodes, and it is so confusing to keep track of. Obviously the first two series are quite, as I said, they needed more bolstering, more background and stuff with this, but you still got an idea of the story, and it's all about Ken Kaneki. And Ken Kaneki, he's a young lad. He gets turned into a ghoul and he works with some of the rogue ghouls. You have the Doves, who are trying to kind of stop him. They're like the police force. And then you have the Algiri, who are kind of the, I would say, evil type of ghouls. Quite simple. Then the second series, Ken Kaneki goes in with the evil ghouls to get basically stronger. And that's mostly where he sets this. And then obviously he loses somebody at the end of it. So it's quite a simple story. This one, he then gets brainwashed, changed as a good guy, then he starts becoming himself, then he kind of wants all the ghouls to get together, then you realise that the bad guys are the good guys but they're not the bad guys, then all hell breaks loose, and then he goes full mental, and it's just all over the shop. And there was so much that people say the anime, so this is the anime, so the manga, the books are far more detailed and far more explanation of this, which I may get into. I do enjoy the story and the characters. I do agree the third series was I was trying to pay attention as much as possible, but it's like, because the style changes of each character, especially Ken Kaneki, he has about 3 or 4 different looks for this. I'm confused if you are, but by that's it. As you've seen in the previous video, finally managed to then watch, this is what I got for Christmas from my parents. So this is the final 3 Star Wars movies. Unfortunately, this did then bring home I forgot. So double dipping, I don't double dip except for 2 movies. I thought actually 3 because AJ gifted me the Force Awakens Steelbook. So I 3 double dipped, but that's as far as I'm going for now. And I did enjoy these. I enjoyed the Porg, so I enjoyed The Last Jedi very much. The Force Awakens is quite an enjoyable movie. The Last Jedi, I think I enjoy more because I like the Porgs, and obviously my dog really likes them and stuff like this, and I thought that was quite funny and stuff. Still, rewatching it, the storyline seems so disconjointed, and seems like, even though Abrams obviously came back from 7 to 9, you just notice so much of an impact of like Rose comes out of nowhere, and Rose's story I didn't mind, but you can see with so much of the backlash she's then side-footed to her, and like Finn in the second one is almost like, oh well, we don't want her with Rey, let's move her to Rose. But then they kind of don't, and then he's kind of going back to Rey in 3, and then nothing is kind of said. And even the whole, like, I get the fact of honouring Carrie Fisher in 9, but when a storyteller, directors are storytellers and they want to tell this story. But when he goes, well, we have footage of her from Force Awakens that we never use, so we will use that and just build a story around it. I'm like, whatever the story is, you're totally kind of, I wouldn't say like making it toxic, but you're totally having to change everything to suit something. And I think you could have added Princess Leia in there and honoured her in, I know you didn't want to use CG and stuff, but I feel like they should have done the story and then just figured out how to add her in, not add the story to meet her. I get it, she's a legend, and I'm not trying to disrespect that. I just think the story is so disconjointed. You can see where each movie kind of has had backlash or people and stuff, and the next person comes on and they just want to fiddle around with it. And I'm like, you're making it too much of a mess. The rewatch, I said, 1, 2, and 3, I actually really enjoy the movies, and I know they get a lot of hate, but I'm just like, the story is so consistent. We have Anakin, we find like his, immaculate conception, then he becomes Vader, and you can understand him giving away the kids and stuff like this, and it all links into, I mean, it has to be watched in my eyes 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, it's so, there is nothing really bad, obviously, apart from Jar Jar that people think of, but I think it works so well that I say, to end it on 7, 8, and 9 is such a mess. I think if George Lucas had probably come back, he probably would have done a better job. But that's just my opinion. So next up we have this fight. So this was something that was given to me free. I thought I hadn't seen this. I hadn't seen this before. I do like Charlie Day. I do quite like this movie, Ice Cube. I think they work quite well together. It's just a silly, funny movie for 87 minutes. And it's about school teachers fighting each other, and that. It gets very silly near the end. Next one up is obviously A Gift from AJ, when we met up. So this is Licensed to Wed. And I do like John Krasinski, and I do like Mandy Moore. I didn't really like his character too much in this. The whole story is a little bit all over the shop. I think the last 20 minutes actually bring it all together, and maybe it is meant to be chaotic and have this. And the end, it does make me enjoy the movie, and I'm glad I kept it. First 20, 30 minutes, I was a bit like, I don't know if I should have updated this. But by the end of it, as I say, I do like Robin Williams, and kind of I like to have most of his movies in my collection. Next one up is another one that I was gifted as The Boss. So I watched this with my wife originally, and then I got to rewatch this the other night. Obviously, it's got dogs in it, so it's animal movies where you've got dogs in it. Always a bit of a pain when you've got your own dog, because he likes to be a bit vocal about those. But again, I did really enjoy this movie. I mean, Melissa McCarthy is silly comedy, and I quite like how it is. The story comes across. It's got the love interest of Kirsten Wiig is her name, not Kirsten Wiig. No, what is her name now? Kirsten Bell, who played Sock in Reaper. I quite like him and quite like his character in this. Then we go to the final two. So one, me and my wife have started getting back on some of the older series, so she decided she wanted to get back into ER. Obviously, so we watched season 7. Obviously, this is double-sided discs, and I have had a few issues with the discs, but with my cleaning stuff, I've managed to fix it. We finally finished season 7. Obviously, season 8 is quite, for me, there's a character death in this, and it is never comes. I always feel bad for this character, and when I watched it growing up, I was like, the first kind of character I kind of gravitate towards it. I'm so hurt by his death. But I do love the series. I'm glad we got back on it. Obviously 8 more series to watch, and obviously a lot more to come. But I really enjoy this series and glad to rewatch it. I really hope they do a Blu-ray set, because I say the DVD discs can be very temperamental. And then the final one, again, dogs in it. So I watched it one night when my dog was asleep with the wife. So Cruella. Still enjoyed this the second time round. I did think Emma Stone was really well done for this role, and just enjoyed the story. I thought it was very clever. Disney took something that was already known, but kind of have this additional story and elements and stuff, and I think it works well completely across the board. So very well done for this. So that has been a look what I've been watching. Have you seen any of these? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. As I said, episode 100 next week. Thank you all for watching my videos. Yeah, I say if you want to comment, please do feel free down below. Otherwise, have a nice week, and I shall see you in the next one.